Who's actually going to get the most out of a 65-inch TV that looks like a piece of art, and who should walk away before they spend a premium on a frame that doubles as a television? Is the price justified for a family that watches movies on the weekend, or does it belong in a designer's living room where the visual statement matters more than the gaming latency? Those are the questions that keep most shoppers up at night, and the answer isn't as simple as it's a QLED, so it's great. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I started digging into the Frame Pro, the first thing that jumped out was the whole concept of a TV that hides in plain sight. Samsung's idea is that you can mount a 65-inch screen on a wall, choose a bezel that mimics a picture frame, and then let it display art or personal photos whenever you're not watching TV. For someone who's tired of a black rectangle dominating the room, that's an attractive promise. But the real test is whether the blend of art and entertainment works in everyday life without turning the living room into a museum that constantly needs curating. Let's talk about the installation experience. The frame uses Samsung's One Connect box, which means all the cables power, HDMI, Ethernet are tucked into a single slim module that sits behind the TV or even in a nearby cabinet. In my apartment, I was able to run a single thin cable from the box to the wall, keeping the rear of the TV clean and the wall uncluttered. That's a genuine win for anyone who hates the spaghetti mountain look that comes with most large TVs. However, the One Connect box does add a small piece of hardware you have to find a home for, and if you're moving the TV to a new room you'll need to relocate that box as well. It's not a deal breaker, but it's a hidden trade-off that you won't see in the spec sheet. Now, picture quality is where the QLED engine shines. The 65-inch panel delivers the deep blacks and vibrant colors you'd expect from a high-end Samsung. When you switch from a movie night to the frame's art mode, the screen automatically adjusts its brightness and color temperature to mimic a gallery lighting setup. In a dimly lit hallway, a landscape painting looks surprisingly lifelike, and the subtle gradations in a portrait retain their depth without looking washed out. That said, the brightness ceiling is a bit lower than the flagship QLED models aimed purely at gaming or HDR cinema. If your room gets a lot of natural light during the day, you'll notice a slight washout on bright scenes, which means you might need to draw the curtains to enjoy the full visual punch. One of the most talked about claims is the cleans without dripping feature. Samsung has added a surface coating that repels dust and makes wiping down the screen a quick swipe with a microfiber cloth. In practice, after a week of having kids run past the TV and a couple of pets shedding, I found that the frame stayed remarkably clean with just a light rub. It didn't leave streaks, and there was no need for any special cleaning solutions. That convenience matters for families with toddlers or pet owners who don't want to worry about a delicate OLED panel getting smudged. But there are practical downsides that show up when you push the TV into more demanding use cases. The Frame Pro runs on Samsung's Tizen OS, which is fine for streaming Netflix, Disney+, or browsing through the art catalog, but it's not as snappy as the latest gaming-focused platforms. Input lag is respectable for casual gamers, hovering around 2030 milliseconds, but competitive players will feel the delay compared to a dedicated gaming TV. If you're buying this for a serious esports setup, you'll probably be better off with a model that advertises a 1 millisecond response time. Also, the built-in speakers are adequate for background music but fall short for immersive surround sound. You'll likely need a soundbar or a separate audio system to get the full theater experience, which adds to the overall cost. Who should consider buying the Frame Pro? First, design-conscious homeowners who want their living space to look curated rather than tech-heavy. If you already have a gallery wall or enjoy rotating artwork, this TV essentially becomes a digital picture frame that doubles as a large-screen TV. Second, households that value a tidy installation will appreciate the One Connect box and the clean rear profile. Third, anyone who wants a low-maintenance screen thanks to the anti-drip coating will find the cleaning claim genuinely helpful. Who should skip it? If you're a hardcore gamer who needs the lowest possible input lag and the highest refresh rate, there are better options out there. If you live in a sun-flooded room where you rarely close the blinds, the lower peak brightness may be a disappointment. And if you're looking for the absolute best picture performance at the cost of a sleek frame, the flagship QLED series without the